Welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Hital.
I'm Anuja, and today we're going to show you a Rajasthani specialty and a lot of requests for this one. We're going to show you how to make the bati for the Dal Bati and what goes with Dal Bati Churma. So we'll show you how to make the bati and the churma. And I think we already, I know we have a recipe on the Panchmela Daal, so you can refer to that video to make the rest of this dish. So we have 2 cups of chapati flour or atta, and we're going to sieve it. Now this is a very important step.
And while we're sieving that, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking soda. This actually gets rid of all the lumps. Sometimes baking soda has little bitty lumps, and if you don't sieve it, just
Look
like
at that, yes.
You'll get a big chunk of baking soda, and you really don't want that.
And I'm going to just mix it.
We also have a 1/4 teaspoon of ajwain or carom seeds and 2 tablespoons of oil.
Now you're going to mix the oil in.
And we also have our oven heating up at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, preheating. So if you own a pizza stone, which is one of those round stones that you cook your pizza crusts on, it works really, really well for this recipe. We have a pizza stone, so we're going to use a pizza stone, but we're also going to use a small pan like this. That way at least we can share with you the differences on how these things come out both ways. And of course, if you have the pizza stone, it needs to be heating in the oven while it's getting preheated.
Okay, this looks done. To this, we're going to add a few other ingredients.
We have some finely chopped green chilies. These are to taste and optional. And 1 tablespoon of minced ginger and garlic. And we have half a cup of yogurt. And we have 3 tablespoons of warm water. We're going to add it a little bit at a time and form a dough.
And this dough needs to be stiffer than a chapati atta, so just keep that in mind. Now one of the things to keep in mind is, every time we made this dough, it's needed a little different amount of water because I think the consistency of the yogurt makes a big difference. That's the reason why we say add the water slowly. But it needs to be, just needs to come together. It needs to be stiffer than chapati dough. We're just going to knead it for about 2-3 minutes extra, and we're just going to drizzle a little bit of oil.
And we'll cover it and let it rest for about 15 minutes. So while the dough is resting for the batis, now we're going to make the dough for the churma. Now this is the same churma as the laddus that sometimes we make churma laddus out of this. So it can be eaten this way, or it can be eaten crumbled as like a garnish for the dal bati.
Yes.
So we're working on that right now.
And this is half cup of atta.
And we have 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. And we'll sift that.
And we're going to mix it.
And add 1 teaspoon of oil.
And same concept, mix it in.
And we have a 1/4 cup of warm water here. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon at a time just to make sure this is again going to be a stiff dough and not too much water.
So we needed about 2 tablespoons and almost 3 tablespoons. So just a teaspoon less of 3 tablespoons. We're just going to again knead it just for a couple of minutes.
And we'll put just a few drops of oil to coat it. And again, cover it and let it rest for about 10-15 minutes.
So it's been 15 minutes for the bati dough, and going to knead it one more time. And going to start making little batis. So what we want is about just about a golf size ball, because they will increase a little bit. You don't want them very big. They're so cute, and you want to keep them at a smaller size. So I'll start rolling these out.
And we mentioned before that we're going to try these 2 different ways. We're going to bake 1 lot on a pizza stone, and the second lot we have a pan. What we've done is just lined it with some aluminum foil and lightly sprayed some cooking oil on it. So all our batis have been rolled and we've just kept them to the side. Now it's been 15 minutes since our churma dough has also been resting. So we're going to go ahead and form that so we can bake all of this together at one time. And we're doing the same thing. We're rolling them into a smooth ball, as smooth as possible.
One thing is you want to try and keep all the batis the same size, that way they cook evenly.
So we'll put a few of these in our pan so we can test this method out. Put 2 of these here. And I'm going to pull the hot pizza stone out of our oven.
And transfer these. Now you want to have all this done before you pull the pizza stone out, because otherwise the temperature of the pizza stone is just going to drop drastically and then the cooking time will change.
And back in it goes.
Now we've put them in the center of the oven, and in the center rack. You don't want it too close to any of the elements, and it's going to bake for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to flip them around and bake for another 10 minutes. Now everybody's ovens are different, and the size of the bati makes a big difference, and so just keep an eye on it. Once you start seeing a little brownish at the bottom, you kind of see the color changing. You just need to, it's time to flip them around, so we'll keep an eye on ours. So the batis and the churma are out of the oven, and honestly really this cooking time was same, and you really cannot tell. I think maybe the ones in the foil can come out just a couple of minutes earlier because they've got a little brown spot, but that's okay. And a lot of them open up, and that's absolutely fine, and they look fantastic. They're nice and hot.
So now for our churma, we have 2 tablespoons of melted ghee or clarified butter right here. And what we're going to do is take the churma laddus and just dip it generously.
Now traditionally, of course, these are fried in ghee, but we're going to choose not to do that. And even for the oven ones, like when you take them out of the oven, you're supposed to do this with all your batis. That's the traditional way of doing it. So for the purists and the purists out there, you can honestly do that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to keep this like this and just open them up and just immediately put the dal on it. And I think it's just put a little drizzle of ghee on top, and
you could save a lot of calories that way. This is hot, so be careful. We're going to pull these out of the ghee and let it rest for about 5 minutes, and that'll give it just enough time for all that ghee to kind of soak in and the flavor of the ghee to get inside all the way. Yummy.
Yum. So we can start making the bati now. Now the first time I actually had this particular dish, I was at a friend's house and they made it the way I'm going to show you. And then the second time I had it, when we'd gone to Chowkidani in Jaipur, and they had given it to us the traditional way, and they both were very good, but the one I had at my friend's house was a little jazzed up. So all you're going to do is going to take one of our batis and just open it up. Now you need to do this when they're still hot. They are hot, so be a little careful, but you kind of want to crumble them, but not too much. And now at this point you can either drizzle a little bit of ghee on top, or just directly put the dal, which is the dal that goes with this is the Panchmela Daal, and we have a video on that as well. You can check it out. Then we're going to put some dal on it. Now if you drizzle this on top, you will not miss the ghee, so it gets the moisture from there. Look at that.
It's delicious.
It is.
Mouth is watering.
I know. And just put a little bit of onions, cilantro, fresh lime, with some julienned ginger, and of course green chili. Now I'm not going to cut it, but there it is, and you're ready to dig into that.
So it's been about 5 minutes for our churma, and we're going to again crumble these just like we crumbled that, but in a little bit finer pieces.
Now this is supposed to be a great combination. The bati, dal bati, and the churma is always like a a complement, which is kind of balances that spice and the little sweetness.
So we ended up putting this in our little mixie and giving it a few whirls. It just made life a lot easier, and the texture is really nice too.
And to this we're going to add some ghee. Now the ghee that you add is to taste. And we're also going to put some powdered sugar. Again, this is to taste.
Okay, and mix it well. Look at it, it's beautiful.
So we ended up using all the ghee.
Or just 2 tablespoons, not too bad.
It's not too bad, yes. And sugar to taste. Some people even add like a little bit of elaichi powder, or some dry fruit if you like, and you can either make it into laddus or you can just keep it like this.
So serve a little bit off to the side for that. Perfect accompaniment.
Yes, so we'd like to thank Meenal Goyal for this particular recipe. She really guided us along the way, making that dream a reality. So enjoy your Dal Bati Churma and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.